renting equipment is much better than being a trucking company.
Yeah.
And you get this combo, right? So if he could focus on house flippers, that dumpster's going to sit there for a lot longer.
Exactly.
Between rents to the dump. This is the part of this running show where the guys talk about their underwear. We got to mention our sponsors. Okay, what kind of man's ear are we wearing today, gentlemen?
Costco 32. Kirkland brand.
Okay, Irving, you got hit with a possible acquisition.
Yes.
Tell us about it.
Yeah.
What kind of company, kind of numbers?
Yep. So, me and I'll be super transparent. Me and my dad's an entrepreneur. He's been an entrepreneur his whole life. Started businesses, sold businesses. Me and him were approached by an old friend looking to sell his dumpster rental business. It's a big 40-yard, 15-yard, 20-yard. He's got a couple different specific types. So we were approached, I'd say October, November. It was an old friend trying to sell his business. He knows we're buying businesses. My dad's got a young gun. I'm ready to rock and roll.
Right.
And I already run my own business. So when we were looking into the business, we started talking to him. We realized he's going through bankruptcy court. Okay. Not the end of the world. He was doing around 8 to 9 million 3 years ago. Dropped down to 7 million 2 years ago. Did 4 million in revenue last year. And I think he's probably gonna finish. He probably finished last year at 3 and some change. So on the decline.
Heavy decline.
Yeah. So we're reaching out to him, but he's also got a lot of money in equipment, a lot of recurring customers, not a super small customer concentration. The biggest customer concentration he has is like one customer is 4%, the rest are 1 or less. So customer concentration looks good.
Yeah.
And we could just tell he's 1 foot out the door.
Yeah.
He wants to work on some software. Business is paying all the bills. And we believe he's a hustler. He's a starter. Right. He's not a manager, integrator, organizer. So
question for you, could I ask?
Yeah, please.
What kind of cash flow? Yeah.
I think at their peak they were making, he was probably I'm thinking like net profit, he was in the million two. Apparently on the way down, I think that second year where he was already pivoting a little bit, he netted around 800. By the time he got to 4, now, granted, all of his bills are on he's one of those guys that just intermingles everything. So all the bills were on the P&Ls and everything like that. Not P&Ls, but.
Yeah, I got you.
So, but then.
So you have to calculate kind of add backs.
Right, yeah, exactly. So that's good. That was a plus and minus. But then, for the last year, it would have been like probably 300-400K. So it's making money. It's not like it's not making money.
So when you dive into their P&L, there's going to be 2 types of depreciation, right? One is for vehicles and one is for the dumpsters themselves, right?
Yeah.
Dumpsters last forever. Trucks don't.
Yeah.
So you kind of have this low quality depreciation and high quality depreciation.
Yeah.
If you want to calculate EBITDA on basically what's a trucking company, that's what you're doing, right? I mean, you're renting the dumpsters, but the dumpsters have to get emptied.
Yep.
And so you're running the dumpsters back and forth to the dump, and the vehicle's going to wear out pretty fast.
Yeah.
Where the dumpsters aren't. And so you can add back in the cost of the depreciation on the dumpsters.
Yep.
But you really need to take the vehicle depreciation and not add it back. Because you're consuming trucks.
Yeah, exactly.
And they just go to nothing.
Yep.
I mean, I don't know what the cycle is, but probably 5 years.
Yeah.
And I don't know how hard they run the trucks, but...
Yeah, but I think it was something around there where it was like 5-6 years, and you're right on the money. I think what we were mainly buying, because you can't buy it for their revenue. They're decreasing year over year. The income was gonna be, by this year, I assume it's gonna be basically like he's running it down. What we were buying it for was gonna be based on like truck value and inventory value.
Yeah.
And just the dumpsters, everything like that. And our purchase price was gonna be somewhere around, I think, 3 million. That's how many dumpsters he has. It's also statewide. So it's already a machine of an operation. He's already got systems, processes in place. So we were just looking to buy it for dumpster and truck value.
Yeah, right.
And then
That's the thing that you could do.
hopefully
Build the relationships
yeah.
that he's kept or has.
We
These
believe
big vendors that he's using.
exactly.
How much of a lien do you know is on the equipment?
I think it was like, so obviously he was in bankruptcy court,
Yeah.
the business. I think it was at like 2.4. So he was only getting that 600,000, but he's going through the finalizing process of it. And he said, and it wouldn't have changed our difference, but obviously we'd like to assume the loans if they're favorable loans on all the inventory.
Right.
But he said he could get it down to like 1.5. So
Wow, that's great.
then we would have had to figure out some seller finance,
Yeah.
some bank financing, something to come in with the rest.
This is really asset heavy. If you
Yeah,
go,
it's asset.
you
Exactly.
can do SBA 7A, right? I started to be ignorant, but I think it's either called 7A or 7B. Where if you're buying a company with cash flow, now what complicates it is the bankruptcy. Obviously, that should discount the valuation.
Yeah.
The fact that there's hair on it. But the issue is if it's really only making 300
Yep.
and you get to buy it for 3 million, all in, then you go to the SBA and you pay 8 or 9%. Doesn't leave you really any money.
No.
You got a debt coverage ratio of like 1.2,
Yeah.
which nobody's going to get excited about,
Yep.
even without the hair. Part of what you're buying is the equipment, but part of
Sure.
what you're buying is the reputation.
Yeah.
And I suspect it's not good.
Well, I mean, no, I wouldn't want it. I just want the equipment. I'd
Yeah.
rebrand it, paint everything,
That was, take the relationships,
to maintain the relationships.
take the equipment,
New owner,
rebrand.
new owner, new business.
Another flaw he had made that we saw was that he was going after 90% roofers. He was establishing
Sure.
roofers. That's the bread and butter business. They
Yeah,
need
yeah.
dumpsters, tons of roofs, live in Florida.
Yeah.
But then when the roofing regulations changed with the insurances
Yep.
2 years ago,
That's
Yep.
what happened to his revenue.
Yep. Sure.
absolutely killed him. And he's like,
Roofers are down
and he's
50%.
exactly. So that's what killed him.
Okay, so I'm not loving that as a vertical. And the reason is you want to basically rent that dumpster for as long as you can for the number of trips you have to take to the dump.
Yeah.
It's a much better, renting equipment is much better than being a trucking company.
Yeah.
And you get this combo, right? So if you could focus on house flippers, that dumpster's going to sit there for a lot longer
Exactly.
between rents to the dump.
Exactly. And I'm a real estate guy. My family, we're real estate guys.
Yeah.
Like, this is our bread and butter.
Yeah.
So we knew we had an immediate next vertical to jump into with the revenue
Yeah.
just to establish like easy relationships, to nitpick, say, hey, I'm in the dumpster business. We know we have 10 guys we can call that would at least give us a try.
Yeah,
So-
true. You're real estate guys.
Yeah.
You're flippers.
Exactly.
Come in.
So that's where,
Yeah,
You're
and
kinda
with
coming
the interest rates, there's not a ton of guys
no, not,
growing that business right at this specific
Yeah.
point.
yeah, very fair. So it's not like it's the most favorable vertical to be in, but
Yeah.
yeah. So heading to the store, I guess.
Yeah.
Biggest problem was that we were just dragging the seller. Like, seller's kicking his feet, he's paying his bills, he's got the shutters on, like doesn't really mind that. He just doesn't see what the numbers are telling him.
Yeah.
And he's
right.
already off trying to start the next thing.
Yeah.
So it's like dragging a horse to water.
Right.
I mean, 9 out of 10 hypothetical acquisitions don't happen because of unrealistic seller expectations.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's gonna happen, but I mean, it could be something there. We had a guy that, a friend of ours, big roofing company, $20 million. He bought a window company and he shut down their location and brought on their product line and had his roofing
And all their
guys
staff.
Really?
and all the staff and added that to his portfolio. And, you know, we advised against it because the guy he bought out had a killer Google map listing. You know, people underestimate
Yeah.
the value of those 5-star reviews that are sitting there. So if you buy a company that has, you know, 4.6 stars, they got a couple hundred Google reviews, like, honestly, that's kind of what you're buying.
Yeah.
Like, I think I would value those reviews above some dumpsters, because I can go to a dumpster company and they'll sell me dumpsters and finance them.
Yeah.
Because they can just come take them back.
Yeah.
So, like his used equipment, I'm not sure how valuable that is, because we can just go buy new gear.
Yeah.
And, you know, Ford will sell you trucks all day long.
For sure.
So, like, the equipment isn't that hard to come by. It's really the sales motions they have. Like, do they have a sales team? Do they have relationships? And did they have a online reputation that you can just keep it running? And, you know, you can change the name of a business and hold on to their reviews.
Can you? Okay.
Yeah. You did. You went from Hogan
Yeah.
to Hogan Smith.
Right.
And you didn't start over. 1,900 5-star reviews, baby.
From 58.
Yeah.
58.
Got 90% of them after. Still didn't start over.
100% after. Yeah, exactly.
You know, it's really
We kept all 58 of those.
Yeah. Now that you've scaled, I mean, you've signed up almost 10,000 clients this year,
Yeah.
or in the last 12 months, and you know, you know, you can have a 1% like customer service fail rate or whatever, 0.1%,
Right.
and that produces some 1 stars. It's really good that you've got a good process in place
Yeah.
for getting those 5 stars. Just to inoculate you from that.
Right.
I was looking through it. It really looks good.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, you guys done a great job with that.
no, I'm not trying to toot our horn. It's just,
No, you guys have crushed it.
it's, I pity the company that has a huge number of customers and they don't really have a process in place
Yeah.
for review capture, because they get overwhelmed really fast
Right.
with bad reviews. So it's awesome. All right, so he just wants too much money for it, Irving.
What's
Yeah.
up?
He just wants too much money.
I mean, the asset value was like, honestly, we thought we could reappraise and get, he had 4 million in dumpsters. So we were like, okay, well, now it's just a tentative 3. In reality, when we get there, we see we're gonna make up a real price, like what it's actually worth, and go from there.
Yeah.
But it wasn't even, he wanted too much money. Like, we agreed on price. It was just that he's kicking his legs up. He's like, yeah, if I get it, that'd be great. If not, I'll just wait another couple of months and try and do it again. We're like, okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, can't force somebody to do
No.
something like that.
Yeah.
Great eval. Good approach. You're patient.
Yeah. You mean you have to do some more diving on this? The value of those dumpsters is sitting on his balance sheet, right? But his balance sheet has no bearing on the actual value of those dumpsters. That'd be a real trick. You'd have to put your hands on them all.
Yeah.
Really appraise them. Find out what it would cost to just get them on your own.
Yeah.
And
You can build a sales team.
Yeah.
On your own.
Yeah. I was ready. I was ready to light a fire and get it rolling, but it was just.
Yeah. The price got to be right?
yeah.
Yeah.
You can do that with your wholesaling.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I know.
Not
Trust me,
buying, right?
I know it's all about the buy. That's being ingrained into me.
Yeah.
It's all about the what?
It's all about the buy. You buy it at the right price,
Oh, yeah.
you'll make money with anything.
I think if you had $100,000 and you didn't have a lot of obligations, a dumpster rental business would be a good one to get started with.
Yeah.
I like fence rental better because it's not a trucking company. It's a pure play rental. And I know a guy in San Diego who got him ranked #1 for fence rental San Diego, and he tons it. And he says he'll show up at one of these high-rise buildings that they're building, and the project gets delayed. And his temporary fences are there for years. And it's just a nice business.
Yeah, it's great. It's a nice business.
You know, how many temporary fences do we see when we went out there to run the marathon in San Diego?
Yeah.
Like, they were everywhere. You know, crowd control. There's a lot of events in San Diego.
Yeah.
It was just a great business. And so, that word dumpster rental, I mean, it really depends on who your customer is. It becomes just a trucking company.
Yeah.
Which is horribly expensive, a lot of margins, a lot of DOT compliance issues.
Yep.
And which, you know, you will comply with, but your competitors won't. They're gonna, that kind of light trucking market is notorious for lawlessness, which means compliance risk. And they're called hot shots when you basically take an F-350 and you load it to the gills beyond its capacity. That's just a whole category of trucking. And I don't mean the hot shots are automatically illegal, but a lot of times, you know, they're gonna blow by the way station.
Yeah.
And take their chances. All right, so I have not been in the new part here.
I was gonna say,
Pretty, right?
Can we take a little break?
Yeah, let's do it.
We got it.
What is this?
As a Christian business owner, I ask myself this question at the end of the year. Are my people, is my staff better off than they were this time last year? Both professionally, intellectually, spiritually, have they been able to grow while they've been working for me? One of the ways that I want to help my people be better off this year than they were last year is to offer a free benefit to them, Financial Peace University. I have a financial planner named Nate Kalal with Oxenfree Financial. He would love to do, of course it's all by Zoom, but he'd love to do a training class, 9 weeks of 1 hour each week with your team to have them learn to manage their finances so in the end they can be truly better off over time. Running says something about a business owner. Running takes hard work. It takes commitment. It means waking up early, doing what you don't feel like doing. We are 7, 8, and 9-figure business owners running 7 miles a day. A dedicated runner makes a strong entrepreneur. Join us as we talk business, strategy, processes, choke points, strong culture. We are each successful in business, connected by a common faith in Jesus Christ, bringing our A game every single day. Hey guys, if you watch my content, you probably own a business and I would love to one-on-one with you. I'd love to talk with you about the things I always talk about. 3 things. What would have to be true to 10x your business? What can be done to make your business easier to run? And what can be done to reduce risk in your business? I'd love to talk about those things with you. If you want to just click, there's in the description below, there should be a link to a Calendly. You could set up a free one-on-one with me. Love to spend some time on the phone with you, just talking through your story. Maybe obviously my ulterior motive is to get you to come onto the podcast, but I don't mind if you don't want to get onto a podcast. I'd love to just have a one-on-one with you if I can give you some help. So if you're a Christian business owner, I mean any size business, any type of business, I'd love to help you. So go ahead and click the link below, get onto a Calendly so you and I can have a talk. I'd love to help you if I can. I'd love your help with my business if you have some advice for me. So thanks so much for watching. Thank you for being a part of our community.